So, this is Seal Ordeal. We are joined by the lovely...
I'm Meg, and
I'm Zach.
yeah, I'm the designer for this game, and Zach is the 3D artist.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what team are you?
We're Two for Joy.
Yeah, Two for Joy Games.
Cool, excellent. And so this is Seal Ordeal. Let's start it up. So, tell us a little bit about the game.
So we've been working on this game in full force since January. We're a team of 3. There's George, who is currently not here with us at the interview, who is our programmer. And early prototypes for this began in November, but it said we didn't really properly get in the swing of things until January.
Mm-hmm.
And so far we've got a hub world and a level 1, and this is really just a nice little vertical slice of what could potentially be a full game.
Now, who's the artist again?
Zach.
I am, yeah.
He did the 3D art and I did the 2D art.
Oh, really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, it's a very, very cutesy, like almost professional quality. I'm saying that almost because I haven't seen everything else you have yet. But I'm sure if it maintains, it'll be very, very solid. So
Level
how did
one
you
will
guys come up
surprise
with this idea? Where'd this come from?
Well, it all came from just me being at uni. I think it was late one night. I was trying to hit deadlines and that, and I was just in my room watching Seal videos because I was just trying to uplift my mood, and YouTube kept giving me Seal video after Seal video. And that night I had such an obsession with Seals that when we had to come up with an idea for a game, I was just like, can we just make a game about a bouncy seal? I just really want to make a game about a seal.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
And it is a seal. It does indeed bounce.
Yeah. And that's really where the whole concept comes from. Everything else from here has been just things we've added on, but the core idea of the game is just you are a bouncy seal.
Yeah, the animation's simple, but it's very nice. Who did the animation?
Do you want to explain it?
So the animation that we have here is from a soft body system that we outsourced on the asset store. It's called Obby. So it's all done real time in engine. There's no actual animation there.
Right.
Originally we had a plan to just have it scale down and back up as a very quick and dirty animation, but as soon as someone at the uni was like, we can source something for you, we jumped on the opportunity.
Oh, it worked seamlessly, so that was, I think, was probably a good choice to get things done quickly.
It's a lot of dialogue. Yeah, so in terms of kind of getting this into a playable state, how quickly did you obviously you kind of make it sound like immediately like bouncy seal, let's make it happen. But I'm sure it wasn't quite that smooth a journey, right?
Actually, we had a prototype before we even did our pitch to the lecturers to greenlight it.
Before we were a team, we had a prototype. Yeah,
I made a very quick, dirty prototype in Unity using the inbuilt bounce physics. And then from there, we kept upgrading it, and there hasn't been a single week we haven't had a playable version of this game.
Nice.
Right.
It's just all it's done is expand and become more polished, but there really wasn't many issues with it. Obviously, you get your standard bugs and that you have to fix out, and you got to clean it up. But this game has been a surprisingly easy sort of development process.
Oh, the Cave of Wonder.
Yeah.
So this is the Selkie Cave, where we have your good friend Sibby, the Selkie, who she's an NPC that has 3 different dialogue systems that run her. She's actually really interesting. So her first system you interact with is the emotion system, which every time you enter and exit the cave, she's in a different emotional state, so you'll get a slight variation of her dialogue. The second thing is the guidance system, which it tracks what postcards you've collected from level 1, and it will give you hints towards postcards that you haven't collected. And then the third one is the trivia system that we use to there's like a 2 in 10 chance that when you talk to her, she'll just give you a random tidbit about the world and that. And it's just something we put in there to keep her dialogue fresh and to expand out a bit of the lore about the seals and the selkies of the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the level select where you can choose a bus stop to go to.
Nice. So,
So you
level
go
1.
levels
Yeah.
by bus.
Yeah, so, you know, our little seal blubber, he can bounce everywhere, but he can't really travel long distances, so he's just like everybody else. He takes the bus to where he wants to go.
Right. Of course.
Yeah. How else would a seal travel?
Exactly.
Yeah, that idea came from, I think we were just late one night thinking, how do we travel between levels? I just had this idea of a loading screen where you have Blubber just very politely bouncing, quite like doing like these little small bounces on like the seat of a train, like in Spirited Away we have a little girl on the train with the big monster next to them.
Yeah.
Just a lot of cute ideas. It's pretty much just.
So there's a little cutscene when he's traveling on the bus, is there?
There isn't a cutscene, but it did lead into the idea of having a
Right.
bus
Yeah.
station.
So talking about scope then, how much is it in the air at the moment whether you're going to proceed with this further or?
So, in terms of our plans next, because we've had to be quite full force on this since January to get where we have been, we've been very good at avoiding crunch, and we've been sure to give ourselves regular breaks and whatnot. But even then, we're very aware that we don't want to burn ourselves out right away. So our current plans is to, after EXPO, we're going to have our first month off from the game since we started. And then after that, we're going to kind of sit down and evaluate where we want to take it from there.
Yeah. I mean, so what year group were you guys in?
So we're year 3s. And George is not currently in the year. He was in the same year as us last year, but then he took a gap year
Okay.
due to some personal things going on. And we were very lucky that he decided to help us out with this, because originally it was just me and Zach on the team, and we approached him for some help programming, and he agreed, and without him we couldn't have the game where it is right now. But yeah, he'll be continuing his year 3 next year.
Okay. No, because this is a very solid base for making a very, very
Yeah, because I want to see where it goes.
yeah.
Yeah. No, we'd love to make more levels. One thing we particularly want to do, because our main inspirations for this game were like old school Nintendo platforms, formers, and we've taken a lot from like Mario Sunshine.
Yeah.
And we've taken a lot from the new school, like Mario Odyssey and that. And we'd love to go that Mario route of having different levels that have like in-level mechanics and that. So we'd like an ice level maybe where you're
Yeah.
sliding around and that. And we're talking about like a level when we have like maybe wind mechanics that blow you about and make the jumps even harder and that. And we'd love to play about more of that.
Yeah, no. This definitely has some kind of classic. As soon as you said Mario, as soon as you said classic platforms, like they're gonna say Mario Sunshine, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like I could tell that was the next logical thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is incredibly charming. It's very, very cutesy. You've done a really, really solid job with this.
Yeah.
I can definitely see people who are big fans of kind of collectibles in games getting lost. Oh, good lord.
Yeah, I can see the merch already.
Yeah. I was saying even when we first loaded this up, as soon as I saw this adorable little blubbery seal boy, I was like, that is merch fodder right there.
Yeah, made as a stress ball.
Yeah.
Stress ball as a plushie, whatever,
Yeah.
that sells.
We have at our stand we have sticker sheets that have been absolutely like we're so lucky we've brought so many of them because they have been flying because
Yeah.
they've got lots of little blubbers in different emotional states and that people absolutely love.
Oh,
and
the
that.
tear.
Yeah.
You can find those stickers hidden around this level. There's,
Yeah.
I believe, 8 for you to find.
Right.
I found exactly none of them because I'm very good at
Bouncing.
bouncing. Yeah, in fact, I'm so good that I don't stop.
Yeah, no, this level is very deceptive because there are just so many secret areas and little things to find.
I appreciated, because you kind of alluded to the different shop names earlier.
Yeah.
Just going around and checking all the different, I appreciated the George, but with a J. That cracked me up.
There's one of the stickies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't
And then
really
there's the
But yeah, no. I mean, so obviously, you've made a fairly complete kind of experience. I mean, you can play it, you can collect some stuff, you can bounce about. There are some fun, interesting areas to bounce about in. In terms of, next steps, if you are to continue this, what do you think are the next priorities for you in terms of development?
I think our immediate next priorities, as much as we want to jump straight on to making new levels and that, it's probably, there's a lot of areas that we still, as a team of perfectionists, that we can see where we want to polish. And there's a couple of things we'd clean up and that, like, I'd make a longer music loop and more sound effects, more things like that. I know that we really want to clean up the hub because the hub serves its purpose right now, but we want to flesh it out a little bit more and we want the tutorial to be a little more interactive and just little things like that we'd probably polish up first and then we'd move on to the fun thing of just cracking out levels.
Yeah. No, it's a good answer. Obviously, I mean, you have a very solid base to work from, which, does hopefully give you some intrinsic motivation to continue to work on this and improve it. Because after a well-deserved break, I think everyone is going to feel that after EXPO. This is definitely something that you could continue to work on. Is there a particular kind of inspiration for this level design in terms of like the structure of it?
So,
I'm noticing some of the shop windows and stuff is very Falmouth, Penryn.
yeah.
Making the models for the houses, the main thing was the sort of main strip of Falmouth. So you'll see a lot of parts that make you think of like the houses just next to mangoes and the buildings next like Harbour Lights and such. I took a lot of reference, even with like the market stalls. I tried to make a slightly fancier version of what you might see when it's market day.
Yeah. There's particularly like, it's the bowed windows where they go out and that you see hidden around Falmouth that we've used all over this map because we just absolutely love those windows.
No, it looks great. It definitely, it has a kind of, it's not really Falmouth, but you can kind of get some definite...
Somewhere between Falmouth and The Prisoner. So it's a very old reference, that, isn't it?
No, there's a lot of charm. Now, I've collected a decent amount of money. I'm going to go back to the start, see if I can't go back to the hub world, because I noticed earlier that we could buy hats, and that is obviously the number one priority.
You can also buy cute little outfits, so you can be a little harp seal.
Oh, we've got to see the seal and an outfit and a hat.
Yeah,
okay,
so I think that's now our number one priority.
Yeah.
If I can stop bouncing into literally everything. I can definitely see like there's interesting areas with like verticality and stuff. I definitely am not good enough to actually reach those areas, but for those of you that are, how do I? Is it the
So if you go to the menu and then...
Oh.
Excellent.
Okay.
Right. Number one thing, shop.
There you go.
So there you go.
Oh, nice. Little grey seal, and I don't know what do you think, Mark? What's a?
I like the clown hat. That was quite nice. Yeah.
Just okay.
That's it.
You just press select to buy them, and then you can equip them from the pools menu.
Okay.
So the pools menu should be the X on the controller, I believe, or is it? White, there it is.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
we've been working with the arcade machine all day. So
Yeah.
I sometimes forget the control.
There we go.
Oh, and now we have our
animation of him
hat.
spinning and changing.
There you go.
Nice. No, this is very, very solid. Nothing but praise from me, which I don't often do. No, so obviously, we've asked many teams this now. I'm not going to ask you the question that we asked most teams, which is, if your game was an animal, what animal would it be? Because I think we might know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of feeling. I think it might be like a shark or that one.
Yeah,
I was thinking like seagull, tuna,
Yeah.
maybe.
I've got to cut in and go, what would your game, if your game was a smell?
Talking with a smell.
Fish and salt.
Yeah, see, I
Fish and
feel like
salt.
it's vanilla cupcakes.
Oh yeah, I get that. It's your
Like
your
you can
palate.
smell the sweetness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I can definitely appreciate that. I mean, if you had to choose though, this is a question for the artist in the room. If you had to pick a color to represent the game, what would it be? Just one.
Well, so
Here's
here's the problem. I've used all primary and secondary colors in the so the
putting you on the
tone
spot.
map of this game is just a desaturated rainbow. Everything's really pastel. As you can see, there is red, green, and blue, and then there's cyan, yellow, and magenta.
It's an ice cream parlor.
Yeah, it has absolutely every color. So I feel like it'd probably have to be a blue that's slightly close to purple, as that is that's Blubber's default skin, and then you also have the blue trees, which I think those sort of stand out the most. So I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah, I would agree. I always think of this game as blue.
No, and it's very cute. It definitely has a lot of charm. This is definitely something that, I mean, you don't have to. It's your project, but you should continue it. But
Yeah.
it's your project.
Yeah.
But you should.
You don't have to tell me twice every day I go home.
I'd like to say this project has legs, but
Yeah.
It has flippers.
Yeah.
it has
Yes.
flippers. Yeah.
But yeah, no, every day I head home and I look at the PC and Egg tells me no. You're not allowed to keep working on it. You're supposed to be on your break.
Yeah, have
Yeah.
a break, refresh yourself. Go for a swim, bounce about a bit, then get back in.
Yeah. I've had to keep you away from that PC during that stream because he's like, oh, just let me do. And I'm like, no, you've been running the booth all day. you have to take a break.
But no, this is incredibly cute. If you had to say, absolute stretch goals, perfect version of this, what would be your dream kind of number of levels, full story, co-op? What were the things that, if there were no holds bars, what would you want to do with this?
I think I'd want a nice round number of levels. I always think like 10 or 12 in a full game, in an absolute full game.
Yeah.
And then story-wise, I mean, obviously my main role in this game is designer, but I've taken on a lot of other miscellaneous things in that, and one of them
small
has been,
team, a lot of hats.
Yeah. One of them has been writer, and I have to admit, I might have overdone the Selkie lore of this game, and I would love to have more Selkies, and even I'd love to start the game off in like a Selkie town or that, because where we are now, Royal Fern Island, this used to be a Selkie island, but then humans took over it. And so they kind of, you see the Selkies about and like the statues and the artwork and that, but they're not present. But I'd love to have like a proper Selkie town and that, like you can go to and talk to other ones and that, than just city, because I've kind of fallen in love with our Selkies, because I had to do the concept art for them to begin with. And we went through a lot of iterations.
2 weeks of hair tearing.
It was, the thing is, Selkies, as they are in mythology, are so cool because they are women who wear the skins of seals to turn into seals. But Skin Seals maybe wasn't the best for a family-friendly game.
Not so cute.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
So I
So-
liked the kind of selkie that we saw earlier in the kind of onesie.
Yeah.
It's a very nice way of handling that. I
Yeah.
think.
That,
And we've just kind of fallen in love. We've kind of fallen in love with Sibby, and just she's a bit silly, a lot of fun, and we like how she's decided to decorate the hub world. It's not vandalism; it's decorating. She just because the whole story of this game is that you're bringing back the postcards to her because you kind of made a deal that she's gonna help you learn about life on land if you give her the postcards, but really she doesn't actually know that much about life on land because she never really leaves her cave because she's a bit shy. But she likes to get the postcards because she likes to scribble on them and doodle.
You have gone deep in the lore, haven't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
And so whenever you get the postcards, you'll notice that they got like her little doodles on them and that. And all of our marketing is like her doodles and that. I mean, in the back of our shirts, we've got little doodles and that she's done. And it's a whole meta marketing thing. So it's all just her little doodles on everything.
No, it's adorably cute. It's fantastically fun. And yeah, I mean, I suppose now really the only kind of questions now we should ask are, if people want to follow this, if they want to play it,
where do we find
obviously they can
this?
do it at EXPO, but where else can they?
And there's
can
a
they find it?
postcard, right, there you go.
But yeah, so if you want to play it, you can find it on itch.io. It is currently only compatible on PC with an Xbox controller, but we will soon be adding in PlayStation controller support, and then later on keyboard and mouse. We get a lot of questions about why keyboard and mouse wasn't the first one, and it's because we actually originally did develop this for keyboard and mouse, but it plays best in controller. But we
Yeah.
will be returning the keyboard and mouse support soon, just for a wider range of accessibility. And then from then on, if we do continue with this game, we're already talking about like console routes and that things. Like we just know this would be the perfect game on something like Nintendo Switch or that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we'd
for
love
sure.
to have a go at that. But for now, it's on itch. It's free. You can download the demo, play it with a controller. Lots of fun.
Yeah. Cool. Any other socials you want to plug? If people
Yeah.
want to follow the development of this, itch the best place to do it, or do you have a
Yeah.
Twitter? Or
So we have our Twitter where you can directly follow the development of Seal Ordeal. It's under the name Seal Ordeal, and I believe, our name on it is Seal Ordeal, but our tag is 2 for Joy Games. But you can also follow the individual devs. So my @ is Eggchanted. I'm Egg Christopher. Yours is
Kovacor.
Kovacor. And then George is George Chandler @ Moon Hermit.
cool.
And
Okay.
so
No, thank you.
Yeah,
both
thank
so
you
much
very
for
much.
taking the time.
Some George
It's-
Game
it's-
Dev.
George Game Dev is it?
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
I'd be mesmerized.
Yeah,
This, mesmerizing.
it's adorably cute. I will continue to play this if we don't stop. So we'll have to call this to a close. But thank you both so much
Yeah,
for
thank
taking
you
the
very
time
much for
and
sharing
for
Thank
your
you.
game and
bringing
sharing.
this through.
It's great to see people having fun with it.
Yeah.
Just this whole project was, well, we've had our fair share of game dev stress throughout the year, but this one has truly been like our fun, stress-free project, and it's nice to see that people are having just as much fun with it as we had to make it.
Good. I'm glad. Cool. Well, thank you both so
Thank
much.
you.
And
Yeah.
Thank
thank
you.
you for showcasing your wonderful.